What's up, everybody? This is Coach MJ, and we are back for another Entrepreneur Coffee Break Convo. If you did not see episode number 1, where we talked to Shauna Casey with Noir 5, you have missed a treat. Go back, watch that replay. It's on my YouTube, it's on Facebook. We are talking about how you can take your business from so-so to sold, how you can scale with smart branding and social marketing. Because here's what's true. It does not matter how great your product or service is if nobody knows about it or if nobody trusts it. And branding is an important part of people being able to trust you and align with your brand in a way that makes them want to buy from you. The truth is, most people have to connect with you on some level before they want what you have. And so we are doing a series with some of my fellow entrepreneurs talking about all things smart branding and social marketing. And today is no exception. Y'all have to excuse me. I'm still mastering my platform here, Restream. But anyway, we are going to be talking to today an amazing entrepreneur that I met. It seemed like I've known her a lot longer than I have. It actually hasn't been that long since I met her, but I have been so impressed with the way that she shows up with consistency, the way she shows up in the marketing space and just does her thing. I'm talking about none other than Miss Ripped Royalty herself. I'm talking about the inimitable Chajuana Renee.
Oh my God. This is so fun.
What's up, Miss Rip Royalty? Thank you so much for joining us. We were having some technical difficulties, y'all, but we showed up. That's another part of the entrepreneurial journey. You got to be able to just
oh my God,
pivot and make it work. But how are you, Miss Rip Royalty? Isn't she beautiful, y'all? Look at her.
I'm doing good. I'm feeling really good. I love the fact that you talked about my consistency because, honey, if that isn't the one thing that I hear from everybody, it's like, girl,
yes,
how do you do that? How do you just keep being consistent? It's been something that has been said for years now. It's who I am now. It's just who I am.
That's so good that you said that, because I'm one of those people that's impressed by your consistency. I am just now learning in this year how to really be consistent with some things. And for you to say it's who I am. So take us back. Before you even started Rip Royalty, before you were this consistent person, at least in this space, where were you? Where were you? Were you an entrepreneur? Were you working a job? Or take us back to that.
Well, let me tell you something, okay? I was just like everybody else, like trying to find the space of consistency and discipline and all the things, right? Because we live life just like expecting to live life the way everyone expects us to live life, right? That's kind of how we do it until something clicks one day. And it's just like, something about this life ain't right. Like something about my life.
Life ain't life in the way it's supposed to life.
And it's like, it doesn't feel good to me. Right. So that was my moment of just like really trying to figure out like what feels good to me. It did not happen overnight. Okay. I just want to make that clear because I promise you.
It happened overnight. Let me write that down. Because they might think you're an overnight success. People see me showing up in the marketplace now. I'm doing marketing and branding, and they're like, "Hey, you been out here." And I'm like, "You wouldn't even notice it." But here's the thing: people don't even really notice all the stuff. They just really look at the last bit, and they be real impressed with you. They don't know. They don't remember like 2 years ago.
Yeah. I mean, and you're absolutely correct because they don't. Again.
They're not focused on you all the time. They don't
see your before. Like literally no one knows your before until you talk about it, until you're transparent about it, until you know, so no one really knows your story. And it's always seeing the after effects, right? Of what you had to work through in order to get here, right? So it was just one of those things where, I mean, for me, I'm going to just tell it like it is because one of the biggest things for me, which was my lowest hanging fruit in my life was my health and my fitness. Okay. That's where all of this started for me.
That hits so close to home because every day you're in your body and in your
Yeah,
mind.
exactly.
You may be in different circumstances out there, but you always are with yourself.
Yes. Yes. And that was my defining moment. That was my moment of, I've got so many other things going on in my life that need to be improved, but this one right here is affecting me the most, right? Um, finances were out of control. My environment was out of control. Everything was out of control. But this one thing,
what can I control right now?
Yeah, was the one thing that was my lowest hanging fruit. It was like, I need to get a handle on this, and I got to do it in the non-traditional way. I realize now that it was very non-traditional. And when I say non-traditional, I mean like, oh no, because we have this belief as women, as parents, as a wife, and all the things, you have to be selfless, and just.
We don't tell men that though. Men don't be sacrificing. Men sacrifice their family. Don't get me wrong. But I'm saying the narrative right there. They don't struggle with that. They don't struggle with work-life balance.
They don't. And what I was thinking about the other day is like, it's like, it's almost like our kids, they don't know that. Because naturally they come to mommy. It's just, I don't know what that is, but it's just something built in us.
In your body for 9 months. They started with you. The first person they were aware of was you. They don't know this other person.
Right.
They don't know these other people. I know
they
your
don't know.
smell. Right. I know your smell.
Yeah. But it's like, it's a natural thing to go to mommy, to go to mommy, to go to mommy. And, we feel bad if we are not at the beck and call every time they go to mommy. We feel so bad. And then we hear all these things on externally. It says, oh, well, yeah, you should feel bad if you don't jump and bend over backwards for your kids or your husband, or and it's just like, okay. There was a point in time where I was like, I don't think this is right. I just don't think it's right. And I was 36 years old when I figured out this isn't right. There has to be a way where I myself personally can do this and do this, where I can take care of myself and I can raise my family and everybody still be good. There has to be a way. So that right there was my moment of, you know what, this is going to happen for me no matter what. It was all in my thought process. That was the one thought. I didn't know how it was going to happen, Mel. I didn't have that planned out.
Entrepreneurs don't never know. We just be making a mess and be like, but it's always about that first. You just got to take the next step. People think I got to map it out, then I'll start. Right. You'll never start. You just got to say, I know this much. This I know. Now what's going to happen out here?
Listen, it was all a thought. It was all a thought that said,
always starts with a thought.
Like this can't be my life. Like
this ain't it.
This I have to improve, and I'm going to improve it no matter what. I don't know what that looks like. I don't know how it's going to work, but I know it's going to happen. Yes. And just that one thought,
decision,
every single day, like every single day, I woke up with this thought. I woke up with this thought. And I know this may sound a little woo-woo to some people, but
like because
because that was my main thought every single day, there were things that started to come to me to show me how I could make it happen, right? And I think sometimes people are so like, they don't know how to take that first step because, a lot of their thoughts around what it is that they want to achieve is, but what if this happens? But what if somebody says, but what if, but what's my kids? But it's common. It's common, and there's nothing wrong because it is common. It's just that when I got to that place, that no longer was my thought process. My thought process was, this is going to happen no matter what, and it's going to be figured out. And along the line, it kept being figured out. It kept being figured out. And one of the main things was my girls. Allow my girls to interrupt or like just really interrupt my my process of taking care of me. It's like that was my norm to allow them to do that. It was my norm to allow my husband at the time to do that. It was like just something that I was like, I feel bad if I don't stop what I'm doing and take and serve everybody else. I'll feel bad. I'll feel bad. But as I continue to take the action to stop those things, to set boundaries between all of them,
Yeah.
I felt more powerful. And I was like, oh, no one died from that. Imagine that. Like, no
So,
one died from me setting a boundary.
right.
Okay, this can happen. So,
This can, nobody died. But how did it become from that? Because that was a personal thing you were doing to now you're everywhere, social media and all the things. How did it turn into that? How did you first realize the power of social media marketing for that?
well, because that literally that led the path to everything else, right? Like I
Mhm.
said, me showing up for me feeling good about myself, me like setting boundaries everywhere and doing all the things and knowing that how good I was feeling just by taking care of me, it just made me show up for me. And it made me say, hey, this is possible, y'all. Because the people that were attracted to me the most were women who were attracted to what I was doing for myself. Like, how are you doing this? How
So
are you making this
how
work?
did they know about it though? Did they see you
They
on social
respect it
media?
because I started sharing my journey from day one. Like
Got
from
it.
day one on social media, it was like, woo, I'm about to take this journey, y'all. Here I go. I was the annoying woman who would share her workouts and her food.
And that
And
sounds a lot like how Tabitha Brown got started. She started sharing her food.
yeah, and
Same
this
thing.
was
Same
back
thing.
in 2014, right? So
Yeah.
this was back in 2014, and I was just showing up that way. It wasn't for anybody. It was just for me to just really share what I was doing, you know? And so it just kept happening, and it kept happening, and it kept happening. I kept feeling good, and I kept showing up for me, and I kept serving my family at the same time. And I was like, oh, like people can actually do this. Like, so it just became me just adding value to people's lives, to other women's lives who wanted what I had, didn't know how to tap into what I had. But that consistency and discipline has rocked with me forever. And it's just who I am now. So no matter what area of my life I want to improve in, I take that same thought process. And
Yeah.
because, everything is connected. Basically, how we do one thing or our thought process of thinking is how we do mostly everything. So
Mhm.
now that I have that skill, that thought process, that no matter
Yeah.
what, I'm going to make this happen, I use it in
Mhm.
everything I do.
So I think I know the answer to this next question. I think I know at least one third of the answer. If you had
Okay.
to pick 3 words that you want customers to associate with your brand, what would they be? How do you communicate that? Because that's really we're here to talk about branding, right? And we've
Yeah.
seen what she's talking about. She said consistency
Yes.
is key. It's key not only in fitness and wellness, but in every space. But if you wanted people to say that's her brand, how would you want them to show up? I mean, how would you want them to describe your brand?
I don't know. This may be a little bit different than what you was thinking,
Okay. All
but
right.
um, thoughts create results.
But
That's
3 different words, that's one.
three different. Oh, I thought you
Like
said
three
three
different things to
words.
describe your brand. Like, yeah. That's one though.
Well,
That's one.
definitely consistency and discipline and what do I want? What else? What else can I pull from me? You tell me.
So
Consistency.
I definitely. So here's the thing. I need to share my screen, y'all, because I want to show you. I'm going to just show.
Okay.
I'm going to show them rather your because this is the thing. People think that branding is just about
The
uh
logo.
logo and the colors, and that is also a part of it. But it
Yeah.
also is about how you show up and your thing. So this is her Facebook page, y'all. Obviously, if you click there, she's got her logo there. Obviously, it's represented. It's got a crown there, Ripped Royalty. Tell us a little bit about Ripped Royalty, just a couple sentences. What is that about? Like I know the answer, but y'all don't know.
Well, rip royalty is basically it just comes from the strength of my ancestors, my lineage. It's just something that just as a child I started reading about my lineage and trying to understand my blackness and all the things. And I learned so much, which I'm still always learning all the time. And
Yeah.
rip is just like the strength part of it.
These little
It's
guns, these
not
little
just about
guns.
Yeah, it's not just about your physical self, but just the mental strength. It comes with any part of strength from from my lineage, my people. Royalty is understanding that I am royalty, knowing that it's the mindset that I have. Like, you may look at me as small because in
Mhm.
this world, as a melanated person, you
Right.
look
You
at me as
gotta
small,
diminish
you know who I am, right? I
100%.
know what I come from. And so that's a part of my brand. And I rock in that, and I try to share as much as that brand as possible, uh, as far as the mindset that I operate from on the daily.
Got you. And there's words in there that also describe your brand. But guys, what I'm showing you right now is what I always about her is that how she shows up in her stories. There'll be 10 videos. Ain't no one video, two videos. She'll have 10 videos. Oh, I've never come to her story and it's not. But this is how I know what she's doing every day.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just about your logo. It's not just about your colors, although those things are also important, but it's also
Mm-hmm.
about this proves that she's consistent to her audience. So when you're thinking about branding yourself, think about how do you communicate that you're consistent. It's easy to say that, but do I see consistency? I believe she's consistent because I see her exercising. I see her talking to the people. Now, do I always do the things she's saying? No. A lot of times I listen to it watch it on mute, but she's showing up every day. She's going to be in that kitchen doing something. Sometimes she shows exercises, there's questions, there's just different things she's showing. So just wanted to let everybody just remember that as you are communicating who you are as a brand, recognize that it's in everything. For example, I do social media marketing and branding. If my pages were trash, you would not believe me. You'd be like, or you might believe me, but you'd be like, ugh. Go to every page and something different is happening and all the, consistency is key really with anything. But just make sure that when you think about the words you want people to use to describe your brand, that you're a demonstration of that all the time and figure that for her, again, consistency is every day she's in them stories. She said, whether she's feeling good or not, she's going to be in there. Now, what was I going to ask you? When did you first realize, okay, you decided to make it into a business? People were like, how do I get what you have? It seems like people can resonate easily with a fitness person. They can see them doing it. Like
Right.
my buddy K Base, he just transformed from an overweight individual to somebody who is literally ripped. No sagging skin, no stretch marks. I mean, so he don't even have to do anything to get people to be like, help me, because he's showing it on camera. When did you realize that you could use social media as a main conduit to promote your business? So not just people finding you just as friends on your Facebook, but I can use this to promote my business on a larger scale.
Well, I realized that when people were actually reaching out to me and asking me questions about what it is that I'm doing. So that was like, again, like I said, I didn't start off to like promote it as a business. It was just like, this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm sharing. And when people started reaching out to me, I was like, oh, okay.
Okay. I need
This
a
is
payment link. Come on,
this is
Stripe.
happening
Go
for
to
me.
this link.
Yeah,
Please.
this is what's happening for me sharing. So
Yeah.
it was because, again, I wasn't on social media like that. And obviously before doing all of this, I was just posting like, oh my gosh, I'm like posting about things.
Yes, absolutely. So
Yeah.
what's the most effective social media platform for your business, and why is that? Is it Facebook? Is it
I
Instagram?
believe it's Facebook. I do believe it's Facebook, and
Mhm.
just because it's just where the most interaction is.
Yeah.
For me, it's just where the most interaction is because I've already established myself there for
Mhm.
years,
Yeah.
right? So I've built an audience that likes to connect with me, and I'll have people that will come into my messenger and be like, "Oh my gosh, I have like just been watching you for years."
And you
So,
probably don't always even recognize who's been watching you for years. You like,
no,
you just putting stuff out there. You're not like, is so and so looking? Is
no, 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 and because I know that, like, because I know there are women out there like me who really, really are trying to figure out, because I've done so many things, Mel. I've
you
hosted
did
groups.
network marketing at one point, didn't you?
You did what?
Did you ever do a network marketing business?
I did network marketing with Beachbody.
Okay, come on, Beachbody.
It was fun. It was fun. I still use their fitness program to
I think
create.
I bought something from them a few years ago. I think I did.
Yeah, they create ease in my life, and I like ease. So I'm like, yeah, just let me
Yes.
press play or whatever.
Yeah. Oh,
But
that's a word. Oh, wait. Okay. So if you're talking about the 3 words, okay, consistency, ease.
yes,
Because what I notice about what you do also is that you work out in a very small space in, I believe,
yeah,
your living room.
yeah,
So you're not, there's a guy out, this Brian Sayuki. I do a lot of his YouTube videos. His niche is, it's going to be a 20-minute video. It's all standing. Don't threaten me with a good time because Heather Robertson will have you up and down, and I love her so much. But this
uh-huh.
guy, it's easy. He's got countdowns. He's not talking. He's just showing you an exercise is counting down. He shows your preview and moves on. You're showing that it can be done at home. So you're taking away excuses. You're making it easy. So that, to me, that's another part of your brand. I got no
Yeah,
excuses when I look at you. It's like, well, dang, she just standing. There's a plant right there, and there she is. Like, how easy is it? You know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah. I mean, that's yeah, consistency and ease. Consistency,
Yes,
ease.
because I know you said you're not gonna ever. You didn't say ever, but we need instructions. We need exercise videos. We need it. Don't say no.
No,
Don't.
no, listen. I am more in the space of
I know thought work.
helping you create structure
I
based
know.
off of your life, right? Because
Yeah,
how many times do we try to copy someone else or what they're doing,
yeah.
but we have no idea how their life is set up in the background for them to allow themselves to do all the things that they do. And then we get so frustrated because, well, I'm doing what
You're
they're
not getting
doing,
the results.
need
You're not.
to,
Yeah.
right? And you
You
have
see in
no
the tip of the iceberg, there's a whole big thing under here about to wreck your ship you don't know about. You see this part. Yeah.
idea. Do you make whatever you want to improve in, how do you make it work for you? Like, what does your life look like?
Right.
Right. So that's one of the biggest key factors. So I try to talk about that a lot too.
Yeah.
Like
She's
just
really more of a teacher. She ain't really trying to do fitness like in the way I'm talking, y'all. But whatever. I'm a peer pressure, but I get it. You're doing something actually that and we're talking about branding again. When you're niching, her niche is not even about do these exercises. There's a
no.
million videos on YouTube of what to do, yet so many of us are still overweight and flabby. It's not that we don't know what moves to make. It's got to be something else. And so she focuses on we're
Mindset.
here. Whereas
Yeah.
the other people, I don't know what they're doing there. I don't think they are. They're just saying, do this for 30 seconds and then do this. And there's value to that. But there's
Yeah.
already that out there. So she's
Listen,
like, I ain't creating it.
there's so much value to what's already out there. There's so many tools, there's so many resources, but I think we have to ask ourselves the question, like,
Why aren't we using it?
tools that have these resources, why aren't we able to follow through? Like,
Why aren't we following through?
like what's the problem? What's the actual problem as to
Yeah.
the reason I can't follow through? A lot of
Yeah.
times we base it on external circumstances, but there's a reason why you yourself will have all these tools and resources and will last like 2 to 3 months in anything,
It's
right?
about to be New Year's resolution season, as I call it. And
Yeah.
everybody's gonna go for about 2 or 3 weeks. They're gonna go hard. This is gonna be the year. The last 10 years is gonna be the year to do
Yeah.
whatever the thing is. But yet by February, by the end of I just heard something on Terry Savelle Foy was talking about this statistic because she does a lot with goal setting, but she was talking about how gyms bank on you not following through on what you say because they will have space for 300 something, but they'll sell 6,000 memberships at a
Yeah.
location. They know ain't gonna be no 6,000 people. They don't build a structure for all of the members that they have paying. At least in the beginning. I don't think they pay all year, but they pay for the first few months. Then the guilt sets in. Then they finally like, okay, I got to cancel this. Or some people keep the payment going, but they know they're not all coming. People are banking on you not following through. So Chajuana's here to help you follow through. But listen, what is one? Well, let me ask you this. Can you share a time when whatever you did, maybe to brand yourself or to market something you were doing didn't work out as planned, and what would you do different, or what did you learn from it? Maybe it was an event, or I don't know.
It was definitely an event.
Okay. Oh gosh, I love a good event.
Where
Chat.
I hosted an event. Was it this year? This year in June.
Okay.
Okay. There was so many things, like so many. But I learned a lot from it. So what
Yeah.
it was, I got a lot of the registration. The registration, everybody said they were coming. They're coming. They're coming. By the time the day, and of course, we know that happens. I'm gonna
Yeah.
come, but
Was it a free event?
it was a free event.
Free event. Okay.
It was a free event.
Mhm.
I forked over a lot of the costs. I mean, a lot of
All of it.
so
No.
there. I learned a lot there, but it was my very first event. And
Yeah.
I knew if I didn't host it, I wouldn't learn anything. That was my
You never fail. You just learn.
yeah, yeah. So I marketed the event the way that I knew how on social media.
Using them stories. When you in the stories.
Story. And again, there were so many people that were interested. And then of course you got it didn't turn out quite like. I can say this, I am super grateful for, I think it was about 15 people that showed up out
That's
of
great. I don't know
yeah
how many you had prepared for, but that's great to have 15 people come across town to spend time with you. That's actually great. But I get what you're saying.
I was grateful that even what I did generated 15 show ups. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So it was just a matter of like, okay, I know I had to do something. I know I have to do something different. I'm not for sure if I want to do an event like that again, but people were saying, you need to do this again. And I'm like,
Yeah, listen to the people. Do not listen to you. You listen to us. Whatever it was. I didn't get to come, so I didn't come to the next. But listen, what you did, okay, guys, you gotta hear this. Whatever she did, even though she might, how many people did you plan for at first? Was it like 40, 50, or?
it was 50 people. It was the Awaken to the Experience showcase, speaker
Yeah.
showcase.
Let me tell you something. That show up rate is actually phenomenal. And here's why. Even not great events, big events. The show up rate and just in the event production industry for things like that. Now, concerts, people show up. Certain types of things, pretty much
Right.
everybody will show up. Catching a flight, people show up. But I think if I'm not mistaken, it can be I'm talking about from people that have said they're gonna be there, can still be 20% on a lot of event types. That's why when I have some at my house, everybody coming. I know on the day of I'm gonna start getting texts. I'm not coming, I'm not coming, I'm not coming. So I don't buy a lot of food. So that's actually a great show up rate by being your first one. You said you prepared for 50. 15 came. That's actually the perspective shift is actually that's a great show up rate. Considering how people are. People don't show now. If it's a paid event, it's different.
It
Free
is.
events, people don't have no skin in the game.
Right.
So if you have a different expectation, like I want 50, but if 20 show up, 15, 20 show up, that's actually a great rate based on, I'm talking about across all industries. Just events, so understand. And then what did you do to market that event? Did you do anything?
It was right. And I had a Facebook, what do they call that event? I had that. I marketed in my stories. I marketed on my timeline. I marketed the vendors that were going to be there. I had them share, had them share that they were going to be there, all the things. So that was pretty much the extent. I also marketed via email to the email list. So I was doing all of that.
Email is gold. People don't understand. I tell people all the time, if we I'm bad about this too, but I'm getting better about my email list because of all the assets that you own, all the marketing assets that you own, your email address is gold. They can't take that away from you. The only person that can take it away from you is the people on the list. They can unsubscribe. They can shut down your Facebook. They can shut down your Instagram, your YouTube, all of it, because those platforms are owned by other people. Your website will sit there, but you didn't get the traffic to your website that you probably think, people's websites. But your email list, these are people who said at some point, yes, contact me. And you have their actual addresses, like an invitation to their home. That or your text message list. If you let people opt into an SMS, that is gold. Because these are the people that they might be deleting your emails without reading them, but they haven't clicked the button to say stop sending it.
Right.
That's gold. And so I always want to encourage people, man, if you're not doing nothing else, email them. Find a way to, how do you build your email list? Like what ways do people opt into your email? Is it on your website or?
It is on my website. They opt in on my website. They also become a part of my email list when they become a client. So they get, all that, the value from just becoming a client.
Yeah.
And it's just by them going to my website and just seeing what's out there,
Yeah.
and then they just opt in because it's the opt-in feature is on my website.
Listen, guys, if you don't have a lead magnet, some little simple thing that people need, some paper, some download, some ebook. It don't have to be hard. It can be something very simple that they want. And you give it to them in exchange for their email address. And you just, now you promoting people. Go get my free, y'all hear me doing it. Those who follow me, you hear me doing it all the time. Go get that free social media calendar. .com/social calendar. There's also a planner. It's $9. Like, who ain't paying $9 to find out how I can build my social media for 30 days without thinking about it? Those kinds of lead magnets are powerful. Yeah, you gotta have a way for people to opt into your email. What was I going to ask you? So, who or what inspires your branding or your marketing efforts? Is there somebody that a business or an individual who you just like something about what they're doing? They might not even be in the same space, but you just like what they do. Like, I like that you show up in your stories all the time. I'm getting there. I got 6 things in my story right now.
That's funny that you asked me that, and this may seem like really to a lot of people. And again, it can be woo-woo all over again, but y'all.
I know what you're about to say because I've read your chapter in the book. What you about to say? You don't look at nobody.
I literally go to bed. Like, I don't even think about what everybody else is doing.
Right.
I'm inspired by what's already inside of me, which is the absolute,
that's so
like,
good.
what is the next thing that I can say to add so much value? And I'm tell you, that's how my posts are created. It has nothing to do.
Put them in a book. Are you gathering them together? You need to put them in a book. You already wrote it. All those posts, they're long enough. It's like almost like a daily devotional, but it's just your stuff. A blog, but sell it as an ebook. You're welcome.
I'm telling you, people it's so relatable to the people that actually read it. And I know sometimes they get a little bit lengthy. I'm like, I don't know how any other way else to explain this or get you to understand. But if you're open to reading, then here it is. And this is why I'm here. And, but it's just, I go to sleep thinking about that. Right. And I kid you.
What to say the next day?
Yes. I kid you.
Oh,
after my workout, I'll get in the shower and
you get a download, don't you?
That's what I'm gonna say. It just, so I'm inspired by people who show up, but it's not, I'm like, I can do this. Like, this is what I do. I can do this. And it's just, and if I don't have anything to say or any value to add, then I won't post. But my main goal is inspired by the value that's already inside of me that I know I can deliver.
The greatest love. It's easy to achieve. She's learning to love herself, y'all. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, yeah. So being inspired by yourself, that's actually big. We normally think about inspiration coming from other places. It's the Holy Spirit. It's my friends. Are you inspired by yourself? Sometimes I walk by the mirror and I'm like, girl, I do it a lot. Actually, girl, you are so fine. I'm in here by myself just talking.
I know that's cute. There's no one. I think people are afraid to tap into that kind of energy, to be able to tell somebody else, I'm inspired by me. But we forget.
That's something. We're supposed to be inspired.
To get us here. There better be some self-inspiration involved.
How can we not be? But we believe that we have to minimize ourselves to some false modesty. I don't even know what it is, but we think everybody else is more inspired. Even if people tell us they're inspired by us, a lot of times we're like, Oh, okay. It's like, yeah, I am cute. I mean, people will say, you look nice. They'll be like, I know, girl, this outfit is cute. And I'm not because I agree with you. But even if you didn't say it, I don't know. I told myself I was cute on the way out the door. So
And I'm here with you because I'm like, I know. I'll be like, oh, thank you. I know.
I know, girl. Oh, girl. Yes. And but when you're like that, you well, you know me. You know me personally. So you know, I love celebrating my friends. Nothing gets my blood pressure up more than one of my friends calling me or saying, this is what's going on in my life. When Shauna moved into her space, I actually helped her move into her space. I literally, every time I go over there, I'm so full of joy, like it's my shop. I feel like it is because it's my friend's shop and she's excited. I'm excited, even if she's not excited. I'm excited. That's how I am. But you can step in that space when you learn how to be inspired by yourself. So nobody inspires her but her. I love it.
Yeah, for sure.
What is one tool or resource that you cannot live without for managing how you show up, your branding and your marketing? What I mean, obviously your phone, I guess. But anything beyond that? Your brain?
My mindset. It is like the greatest gift that I could ever have, ever, because without this right here, the
Yeah.
work to build this up, to hear when people say, well, I can't. And it's nothing against them. I just understand where they at because I've been there. So because I know, I'm like, no, you're more than capable. You're saying that because you don't understand. You can actually build that up
You can
here.
choose a different thought. You can
Yeah,
choose what you think. It ain't up to your parents or your boss or the traffic.
the
You
great
can choose.
resource you could ever have, you could ever build, because no matter what,
Yes. It's your mindset.
you can
That,
overcome so much if you're managing this to the highest degree that you can manage it, and always working to manage it.
what is some of those daily things you do in the morning? What's your morning mindset routine?
You know what's so funny? Because I always think about where I used to be and where I am
Yeah,
now.
yeah, yeah.
And I say this a lot in my stories too, like, what are you thinking about yourself
I gotta
today?
get into them stories. Chajuana Renee on Facebook, because you missing out. 10 things over there today. Go on over there.
Like what are you thinking about yourself today?
Yeah.
Like, if your thoughts are not like conducive to you winning or feeling good about yourself, like
Uh-huh.
your thoughts create a feeling in your body.
Yeah.
So you are not feeling like empowered or what. Now, don't get me wrong, we're all human and we may have those thoughts that don't make us feel empowered, but
What do you do with them? That's the thing. What do you
when you
do?
can catch them and be like, oh, because you understand how you feel. And if
Mhm.
you them, you can quickly redirect those thoughts. And that's the work that I do every day. That's the work that I do in my coaching. Like, let's work on these thoughts. It's a very intangible service, but
Yeah.
it creates tangible results.
The very small things that we don't focus on, the things we don't think matter, do. Every word that comes out of our mouth, everything. Because here's the thing: it's not wrong to have the thought. Thoughts come in. It just
No,
means your brain. It just means your brain works. It's
yes,
what you do when they come in. Do you replace that negative thought with something different? Do you reframe things to serve you? What is the thought that will serve me in this moment? I don't
exactly.
like feeling like that. I don't like feeling like I can't do it. So what am I going to say? I can do it. I've done it before. That's why writing things down is so important, because you'll be
Yeah,
forgetting how great you were. When I go back looking at some of these old journals or just flip back through my phone, go through your phone and some pictures from 2 years ago, and you're like, oh yeah, I'm that one. I already overcame all this. Or look at your calendar, because I live and die by my Google Calendar. So I have a digital record of the last several years. It's like, oh yeah, this difficulty here ain't nothing. I've survived it and more in the past. So her best tool and resource that she cannot live without is her mindset. So as we girl, we can talk all day. As we wrap up, what would you, if you're talking to a solopreneur, small business owner out there like us, who is looking for a way to stand out in the marketplace from an authentic place? Because that's the third word. We done come on. So what was the first one? Consistency, ease, and authenticity.
no,
ACE. That's the
no,
acronym. Authenticity, consistency, and ease. Do something with it. No,
Concept. High self concept, self identity. Like, I don't know how to put that into words, but working on your identity just by being 100% you, like allowing yourself the freedom to be you. How do you say that in a word?
Yeah, because really a lot of, okay, so
Authenticity.
there's this phrase, personal branding. And that was the idea that who you are is a brand. One of my favorite style influencers that I watch heavily is her handle is my style is my brand. Her name is Sabra Johnson. My style is my brand. And it literally is. And it's catapulting her to heights. But you are a brand. I don't even see a difference between personal and business brand. I am my brand. You are your brand, because we're the face of the brand. So when I talk to business owners, you're like, I don't really want to be the face of my brand. I don't want to be on social media. And I get what they're thinking. They're thinking about, I guess they're thinking about TikTok, dancing on TikTok. I'm just like, first of all, if you're not on social media, people doubt that your business exists. It needs to be in some form on somebody's platform. Because that's how people are finding you. Huh?
I said, isn't that crazy? Because we didn't used to have social media, but businesses still existed.
No. But I can remember another thing that comes to mind. I remember back in the day when I way back when my daughter was little, I thought I wanted to move to Atlanta. And I remember that it was considered so weird to try to apply for a job virtually and not go to a place and apply. Because I remember I was trying to get a job before I moved there. Now nobody has an HR that you can walk into. You apply online. So that's kind of a similar thing. It used to be when they first started putting business online, that was a certain .com. You had businesses that were online, but you still can't. Now it's like, if I want to, before I go to a business, I want to go online and see if they're closed for the day, like for weather or something, or somebody got a small business. If you ain't on Facebook updating your page, I'm like, they ain't posted for 2 months. Are they still in business?
Right.
Like that's what it is. I need to see movement and things happening out there. So yeah. So what is, and we're going to end with this, what's one big goal that you have for your brand or your social media presence in 2025?
To be more visible, and just add value to people's lives.
Adding value. That's so good. What can we give? Don't mean you need to be giving away all your products and services, folks, because you can't do nothing to help anybody else if you broke down. So I don't need anybody working for free. However, I just said something a little while ago, talking about lead magnets, and what can you do to provide value? I mean, obviously you're talking, but then what can people get in their hands that's going to remind them of you later on? What can you do to help them on a journey after they click off of your page? What are they going to have? So yeah, be more visible. So she's going to have 20 stories instead of 10. That's
okay. So what I do want to say, and this is what me serving other people, right? This is me offering up what I already offer, which is a complimentary consultation. That right there is already scary for people because of what I say, because oftentimes people want to point the finger at external circumstances as the reason why they're not able to follow through with their goals to get the results that they want. It's them, it's this is over here. And I'm like, okay, so
I don't have time.
If you hop in this consultation with me, I want to show you how it's 99% of the time you. And if you're open to exploring that, then we can do that on that consultation.
So and I want to go to Royal Renewal. Is that the right address? RoyalRenewal.info.
That is my website. You can actually schedule a consultation from. But yes, like I offer those up. And even if that's the only thing that we get to do together, I want you to be able to get the wheels turning and to start thinking like, oh my gosh, that hour that I spent with you was so valuable that I'm even thinking differently just from that 1 hour.
That's so important.
That is what I'm offering up.
Yes, royalrenewal.info. If you need, is it just for women? Is it mainly women, or is it men, or is it just women?
Because everybody has a brain. Everybody thinks thoughts.
Everybody don't have a brain, sis, but that's okay. I'm gonna let you have it. RoyalRenewal.info. So it's for women and men. I tend to think she's talking just to me. So I think it's just for women, but it's for anybody who wants to make a shift in your mindset, holistic life and wellness focus. Thank you, CJ. This is my girl, y'all. Listen, y'all gonna see me on here with her again. I keep on alluding to my book that I'm working on. She's one of the authors in the book, and you don't want to miss it. That's all I have to say. But we're not gonna belabor this stream about that, but just know it's coming. But listen, guys, if you hold on, okay, let me try to be fancy with my little okay, I'm gonna pull her off there. Hold on, CJ, don't leave. But guys, if you are looking for a way to refresh your brand or your social media for 2025, don't go into 2025 with that same stale stuff, those things you know aren't working, those posts that's only getting 3 views, that empty calendar, that whatever you're experiencing in your business. Let's work together. Let's get that brand refreshed. Brand identity is so important. Some of the things that we were just talking about, we can get those things set up for your business in a day. I work fast. Or if you need a social media campaign, so you got a tight brand, but you don't know how to show up on social media. You don't have the skills. Let me tell you something. These platforms, these algorithms, they're not responding to every 3 weeks just throwing up a static post. Nobody's going to see that. You need to post the right types of things to engage your audience, and we can set that up. Go to melaниehunter.com/done. We can do your social media campaign in just a few hours working together, not a whole lot of back and forth by email and taking weeks to get it done. We're going to get it done the day of and have you out there. And I would love to work with you to help you refresh or create your brand from scratch or your social media campaign from scratch. So again, melaниehunter.com/done. Listen, we have another amazing conversation planned for next week, a couple of them, as a matter of fact. Do not miss out. We're going to continue with Entrepreneur Coffee Break Convos. Until the next time, take care